guys, I finally made it. It took a long drive to get here, about 8 hours from home, about 600 kilometers. So feeling pretty tired. Left this morning at 2 a.m. And yeah, really excited to be here. It's my first time taking a hike in the snowy mountains, and I can instantly feel the altitude. I think we're at around 2,000 meters up here, and I only left the car park about 10 minutes ago. But boy, I can really feel it. I guess it doesn't help having a 25 odd kg bag on my back. But yeah, might here for 2 nights, 3 days. Probably going to walk around 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers, something like that. I've got the fly fishing rod, or the spinning rod. See how we go. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's worth a try. So for those of you that don't know your facts, Australia receives more snowfall than Switzerland, and I'm in the snowy mountains, which is pretty much the epicenter of the snowfall. So we're probably only a few weeks away from this place being covered in snow. In fact, there was some snowfall on the mountain last night, so it's certainly on the way. And I saw a really nice window in the weather. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning out here. So I decided to take a couple nights, and what we're going to do is do around a 55 kilometer trek. I got a bit of a loose itinerary of where I want to stay, but I also want to throw a little bit of spontaneity to the trip. So if I find a nice camping ground or a nice spot for a sunset, I'll probably just perch there for the night. In the Kosciuszko National Park, you're allowed to camp wherever you want, not just dedicated campgrounds. So I reckon I'll find something quite nice and then go from there. And I'm just going to take you on the journey with me. It's a beautiful day. I am going to be looking down a bit because there'll probably be a few snakes out and about sunning themselves. I did bring some gators, which I might chuck on later if I go through some longer grass. But for now, at least it's on a nice fire trail, and let's see how we go. Okay guys, I just came over the crest of a hill, and it's a pretty spectacular view. It gives you a good sense of what's in front of us over the next couple of days. So if you look at that mountain in the distance there, that's Jagungal. That's the one that I could potentially climb over the next few days. It's quite a steep ascent. It's about 2,800 meters above sea level, but from the base of the mountain to the top is probably 1.2 kilometers. And then if you can look in the distance there, I don't know if you can tell by the camera, that's Mount Kosciuszko. So it's the tallest mountain in Australia and one of the 7 summits around the world, so the highest on the continent. And you can see that's covered in snow already this early in the year. So yeah, that's a bit far. It's probably about another 60-70 k's. I won't be tackling that this trip, but you can see a little bit of snow on Jagungal, and yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how we go, see how the legs feel. I've got quite a heavy pack, as I mentioned, and it's going to be a lot of walking, so let's just take it as it comes. But for now, I'll just take it and enjoy the view. So definitely a little dodgy, not for me, but for the camera. I think I just got to go for it. It's actually moving quite fast, but it's only about knee deep, so I don't think I can get carried away yet too badly. But I'm trying to get to that spot over there so that I can go for a fish in that deeper water over there. I think that's my only bet to catch something, so I'm going to give it a go. First got to cross this river, and it's also about 2 degrees the water, so it's freezing as anything. Hopefully I dry pretty quickly. The wind's starting to pick up, so I should dry relatively quickly, but absolutely stunning. Look at that. That is so cold. Alright, you'll see I've chucked on the gaiters purely because I need to get to that spot over there, and it looks a little snaky to get there. So you can see this kind of long grass. I don't like the look of it too much, so I've put on the protection just to be safe. That could have turned into a pretty nasty, naughty joke, but yeah, it looks like there might be a bit of a clearing, so I'll update you when I get there. Okay, I found a perfect little spot here. If you look here, I got the rocks to just sit over there. This looks like it's the deepest part of the river around this area, so I reckon I might just walk up and down here and see if there's any fish. I'm told that there's some really good trout in this dam, rainbow and brown, but whether it's the right time of the year or time of the day, who knows. But hey, if I don't try, I won't know. Okay, let me show you what I got you. Old mate at the shop told me that these will work magic. I've got no idea what they are, but some shiny thing with a little bit of fluff on the back, 3 hooks. Apparently this is a bit easier than fly fishing if you're a newbie to this. I reckon. One thing I do know is I saw a little bug earlier and it was green. Okay, let me show you what I got you. Old mate at the shop told me that these will work magic. I've got no idea what they are, but some shiny thing with a little bit of fluff on the back, 3 hooks. Apparently this is a bit easier than fly fishing, so I think I'm going to go with the green one. I remember watching a video once about trout fishing, and they said that you must pick up cues on what you see on that day in terms of the flies and the insects, so I reckon I'm going to go with this green one and chuck it in and see what I can get. So no luck today. I tried for about an hour. I reckon there's just no fish. Finally. Take a look at that. There she is, Jagungal, through the trees. And if we look closely on the left hand side there, in the tree, there is a black cockatoo, which is pretty cool and very rare. So let's see, let's check it out. I saw him. Oh, nope, I lied, it was just a magpie. But anyway, you can see a little bit of snow on the top of the Jagungal there. It's a little bigger than I thought it was. We'll see how we go. This walk has definitely taken it out of me. It's been a lot steeper than I expected, and colder. Look at that. It's going to be cold, but it just looks way too good to turn down. And it's been quite a slog for the last few hours, so I think I'm going to get all the sweat off. As you can see, I've got all my stuff ready because I know once I get out of this water with the wind, that was a lot colder than I thought it would be, and a lot shallower too, but very, very refreshing. Almost at the end of day one. I'm about 500 meters from the rest over stop for tonight, which is one of the huts that are scattered throughout the snowy mountains. So if you didn't know, there's about 150, give or take, huts that were built mostly in the 1800s, but some of them a little bit more modern, for people coming through the mountains, and they're really used as a place of refuge if you get stuck in an emergency situation. Obviously the wind, the snow, given its alpine conditions, can turn quite quickly, and it's a really nice little part of Australian history. They're really well maintained supposedly, and the only rule is that you have to leave it in a better place than how you found it. So if you make a mess, you clean up. If you eat the food, you leave some food. That's an unwritten rule, but it's a pretty cool one. So we'll see what condition it's in. This one looks pretty cool. It's one of the better ones and better maintained, I would say. So I'm excited to get there. There's a freaking steep hill in front of me first to get through, and yeah, since my swim, it's been all uphill. Another 500 meter rise in elevation. So I tell you what, I've been up and down today, and I'm looking forward to putting my feet up, making some dinner, and probably having an early night, I reckon.
How awesome is this? It's almost like we're traveling through time. Very cool. Check out all of that cutlery. You've got your firelighters, more wood than you'll ever need. And if you're bored, you've got magazines from 1935. And the world is a very different place. How cool is that?
Hey guys, probably can't see me at the moment. It's a little dark out here and very, very cold. It's about 5 a.m. in the morning, but I wanted to get a head start on the day and enjoy the sunrise that I'm about to get. Look how stunning it looks with all the mountains in the background, and I think I can just tell it's going to be a pretty special one. But for now, I'm just going to try and push through a little bit. We've got about a 5-6 hour walk in front of us today, 28 k's. I'm told it's quite flat. We'll see about that. But yeah, it's cold. It's probably -5, -4, -5 at the moment. And I stupidly packed my beanie right at the bottom of my bag. Warm otherwise, and I'm sure once I start walking, the body's core temperature will rise a little. But let's see how we go. So last night I had some good plans to take you on a journey with me, setting up the tent, showing you what I was having for dinner and all that good stuff, including awesome footage of the sunset, which was phenomenal. But I ended up meeting like 5 or 6 people, just solo campers coming from all different directions, and we made a fire. We ended up chatting for a few hours, and it was just awesome. Didn't want to be on my phone, didn't want to take away from the moment. such interesting people, and someone that walked horses 150 kilometers from Victoria yesterday, and people coming from New Zealand and all over the show. It was pretty cool to kind of sit around a fire with people you don't know and just have a good chat. So didn't take any footage last night other than when I went to the bathroom for the sunset, but hopefully it looks good. But yeah, I'm really glad I didn't spend my night on the phone. You can probably also tell that I got the beanie on. It's easily -5 degrees. There's a bit of a wind blowing at the moment too. The only thing that's keeping me going is the sunset, and the higher I get, sunrise, the higher I get, the better the view is going to be. So that's my motivation at the moment. But pretty much my whole face is numb. It is ice cold. Without doubt, this has to be some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. Look at that. It's just stunning wilderness. Really, really pretty. I can hear a stream, and I'm out of water, so I'm going to have to go get myself some water before a long day ahead. Mountain over there that you can see behind the tree, it's called Round Mountain, and that's where I'm parked, so that's where I'm walking. I'll tell you one thing, last night I was pretty nervous about the cold, and I was warm as anything. It was toasty in my tent. I bought myself a really good sleeping bag with a comfort rating of -5, and I did some research. Those comfort ratings, they've got extreme rating and comfort rating, and one other one that I forgot the name of, and it's a bit confusing to figure out how they all work. But I slept with some thermals, just the top and the bottom thermal, and that was it. And it definitely got to -5, -6 last night. One of the ladies that were with us had checked the weather on her Garmin app and said it was -4 at the time. So yeah, it was very cold, so I was quite impressed with that. And also with my self-inflatable mattress, it's not the best one in the world, and I was nervous from the cold coming from the ground up. But again, I was totally fine last night. I think I'll learn a few lessons. I need a bigger tent. My one's very, very small, and so you can't really sit up, you can't get changed in your tent, and so I needed to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and it was quite a mission. So I think I'll get a bigger tent and possibly a more comfortable mattress and a pillow. I think my pillow was pretty poor, so my neck's a little stiff and sore this morning, but all good lessons to learn for next time. This won't be the last, and yeah, I think each trip that I do, I'll learn a little bit more, not just about equipment and gear, but also about filming and what looks good. I'm going to see all the footage after this, and I'll learn about the different angles and the sun and how I speak behind the camera. I think of everything, speaking behind the camera has probably been the toughest part for me. yeah, I enjoy taking the footage, the B-roll, whatever it's called, but speaking behind the camera I find quite challenging. So I'm interested to hear how it comes out, and I think the sound might be a bit difficult and muffled, especially yesterday when it was quite windy and I was huffing and puffing. I think it's going to be hard to make out, so maybe investing in, if I enjoy this and I enjoy the process of making the video, maybe getting an actual lapel or a microphone or something that can just make the audio a little bit more hearable, if that's even a word. But we'll see. Today's pretty still and quiet, and so I do think I'll get some good sound quality about now, but I think going forward I'll need to invest in something. I reckon that's my breakfast spot with that view. So for breakfast today, well, got myself some oats and a coffee cup that's supposed to have coffee in right now, and I bought myself one of a little oat milk for the road. So I think I'm just going to take it all in and enjoy this view. Oh, the first bit of sun for the day. Look at this. Watch ya. Oh, that's good. I don't know why it got a lot colder after this morning's wake up. The last like half an hour has just been probably -8, and I don't know what it is, why it got colder as the morning progressed, but tell you what, this is very welcome. Look how stunning this is now. Woo! Might need the sunnies. By this stage you've probably noticed the Crocs that are tied to the back of my bag, and I need to send an apology to anyone that I've criticized wearing Crocs, because for the last 30 years or 20 years I would say, I have been very critical of them, and most people I spoke to said when you come on these type of adventures you need Crocs because they're just so practical. So I bit the bullet and bought some, and I'll tell you what, they were right. They are awesome in these type of conditions, especially middle of the night when you need to go to the bathroom and your shoes are frosted up. So I'm not embarrassed. The only thing I am embarrassed about is the color. I went with almost a pinky color, and that was purely because they were on sale for $30 versus $80. So I figured out here, I've seen only 3 or 4 people who I don't know, so I don't really care. But yeah, pretty happy with that purchase. So you got Greymere Trail over there, Kosciuszko Trail over there, so the main range is just over that hill, and then you've got Round Mountain Trail, which I'm going to go on. So this is pretty much where I was going to go if I had a few more days. I was going to take about a 10k walk down that way, but I think given that I'm on my way back now, I'm just going to go this way. Looks pretty beautiful, and I suspect I'm going to be in the sun for the rest of the day, so I might need to throw on some sunscreen in a second. But it's crazy how you go from that alpine forest with rivers and streams to this open plain like this within a matter of minutes. Yeah, the landscape does change quite often, which is pretty cool. I think it's quite a unique aspect about this landscape, but let's keep going. I'm going to do is just make a little fire on the floor here. I found a nice, very still part of the walk, and I'm just on the fire trail, so I might make a little fire here, and then just put my stove on the fire directly. I do have a little piece of fire lighter, so I might use that, and then just obviously put it out when I'm gone, and probably take the fire lighter with me because it's quite a fire hazard. So let's see if it works. But I just haven't been able to stop thinking about a coffee and how good it would taste in this environment, so I'm going to give it a crack. Just a tiny piece to start it off. Don't want too big a fire out here. Everything's still pretty wet. There's a lot of dew on the ground, so there's certainly no fire risk, and like I said, there's no wind here whatsoever. So all this stuff is nice and dry. This will be a good starter. So yeah, certainly not worried about this becoming a fire. I'm pretty responsible with that kind of stuff anyway, so I think I'm just going to put it straight on here like this. Get this bark burning nicely. Get the milk in here. Let's do the whole thing. Get all of these twigs out, and then I reckon just kind of balance it on there like that. Let's see if this works. I mean, in theory it should work. I'm a bit impatient. I should probably wait for the fire to establish itself, but it's coffee. Yeah, it's working. It's getting there. I reckon I got another 2 minutes or so, and then I will be enjoying a nice cup of coffee. Not as much milk as I thought, but this side, it's like the valley of death. It's just dead trees as far as the eye can see. Also, I don't know what this is. There's a lot of it, the whole trail. It's certainly not humans. I'm wondering whether it's brumbies or some other type of animal that kind of digs holes in here. But you can see it's pretty random, and the holes are quite deep. So I'm gonna have a think and try and figure out what it is, but look at that. Anyway, there's Round Mountain, probably about 6 k's away. So I determined that those holes in the ground are from brumbies, which is just a wild horse. And I know that because every time I walk past one, it just smells like horse shit. So there has to be a link. Almost 18 k's. I gotta go up that hill, down over that one, and the parking lot's on the other side of that one. But I've got a really deep paper almost cut in my foot there, which is getting really sore, and I'm about to tackle that hill. I've got about 5.5, 6 k's left. No blood or anything, but it's certainly a nice little nasty sore one. I don't know what happened. There's nothing in my shoe. It could just be from last night and then opened up. But anyway, let's suck it up and push through. Made it to the top of the hill, and it was pretty tough, but I tell you what, I love this stuff. I love feeling exhausted, pushing through a bit of adversity, carrying 25 kgs on my back. It's like when I'm in my element out here. I love it when it becomes pure mental. And the thing is, I know my body can get through it. I know I'm not going to die. I'm not going to fall off a cliff. And so it's just a pure case of being mentally resilient, which I love. So I always think of resilience like a muscle. You build it, you gain a bit of confidence with it, and then you got to turn that into muscle memory, and experiences like this certainly help with all of that. So yeah, I'm actually probably in the best spirits that I've been in since I started, and I'm definitely in a bit of pain. We're on almost 19 k's today, and it's been very up and down, and the cut of my foot's gotten pretty sore now, but got a bit of a strategy. I'm just walking almost on the ball of my foot, and it doesn't seem to be as bad. It's going to be interesting to see when we get to the car if it's gotten any bigger, but for now, just taking this all in, and yeah, probably 4k's to go, maybe a little more, but it's going to be a tough 4k's. It's a very, very steep finish that I've got ahead of me. So probably also wondering why I look like such an idiot out here with my long sleeve shirt and my strange wide brim hat. The truth is, the sun out here is really strong. It's got a UV of about 10 today. It's not hot, but it's going to burn you if you're exposed. So I figured I'd rather look a bit like an idiot but be protected from the sun than have to apply half a litre of sunscreen and walk along. Oh shit! Woo! Look at that. I stood on its tail. My goodness. Woo! That scared the living crap out of me. Thankfully it's a little baby, but it is an eastern brown, which is the second most venomous snake in the world. And thankfully I am wearing my gaiters, so if it did get me, I would be okay. But apparently the juveniles are the ones that you have to look out for, because they don't know how to control their venom. So what happens is they bite you and then they just inject as much as they can, whereas the adults, they pretty much know how much to inject. Whew, but it gave me a bit of a fright. Let's say goodbye to this guy. Go on, off the track. I don't have a stick or anything to push him off. Hopefully he just scurries away with the next group. But yeah, I kind of knew that there would be a few out here. I saw one yesterday. I didn't stand on its tail like this one, but that guy seems pretty chill today, and thankfully he wasn't in a bad mood. But yeah, it just goes to show you got to wear gaiters, you got to be protected from the sun, from snakes, from spiders. We do live in Australia, and it's quite a hostile place at times, so yeah, you got to be prepared. But they are beautiful animals, and I must say with snakes, I used to be absolutely petrified of them, and the more that I have seen and encountered and gotten really close with, the more that I have come to really appreciate them as creatures, and they're certainly not out to get us. I don't think I'm ever going to change my mind with sharks, because that's the other animal that I'm petrified of. But for now, yeah, they're beautiful little creatures, and you know, even encountering an eastern brown, which is the second most venomous snake in the world, besides getting a bit of a fright, pretty relaxed around them. So hopefully that's the last guy we see today. Like I said, oh, there's another one. Can you believe it? Look at that. Another eastern brown juvenile. Alright, well, I guess I better get off my camera and keep my eye down on the ground, given that there's two within about 20 meters of each other. But yeah, they're not going to get through my gaiters if they bite me, so I'm certainly not in any danger right now, unless I try and actually handle it, which I'm not going to do. So we'll just let this guy scurry off into the bush, and again, I'll say it, but hopefully that's the last one I see. Alright, back to the snakes, and forgive me if I don't look at the camera this time. I feel like I'm in Snake Valley here. I do have snake bite kits, and I've got 2 of them. So they're basically long bandages that compress and stop the spread of the venom, and it buys you a couple of hours. I've also got a Garmin PLB, personal life beacon, so I could activate an SOS on that if I were to get bitten. And because we're pretty close to New South Wales Parks headquarters and the SES, they'll probably be here within about 10 to 15 minutes with a chopper. Oh fuck, there's another one. Scurried off into the bush, that guy. And so they can be here within 20-30 minutes at the latest, and they'll administer antivenom in the helicopter. So yeah, you're certainly not really stranded out here in the middle of nowhere. Obviously I've got the gaiters on and the actual snake protective gaiters, so they're going to stop the fangs going through anyway. But if somehow it gets through, or you get bitten on a different part of your body, you activate the PLB, and boom, within 20 minutes a helicopter's here and you've got anti-venom going through your body. The key is to just identify the snake and know what snake it is that bit you. Out here there's only really two types. There's eastern browns, which I've seen 3 of them just today, and then there's also something called a copperhead and a tiger snake. Those 3, and they're pretty distinctive from one another, so you can generally tell which one's which. But yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes open, going through a bit of a grassy area here, and it's certainly started to heat up a little bit. It's probably about 10 degrees now, which is beautiful to walk in, but I think the snakes really like that too. So I'll keep you posted if I see any more. Hopefully I don't come across a big mummy snake, but for now it's just a matter of keeping my eyes down firmly on the ground. The little guy, that's definitely the smallest one we've seen so far. Get nice and close. Just a real little baby one, acting dead. Still waiting for the big mummy to come out, but for now those are the ones I got to watch out for. The other thing to know about snakes in Australia is because they're so venomous, they've evolved to have really small and brittle fangs, because all they need to do is briefly penetrate the skin and inject any amount of venom and it'll kill its prey, well, at least its intended prey. Whereas snakes across other parts of the world, they're much less venomous, so they have to inject a lot more venom to make the kill. So, you know, oftentimes if you're just wearing jeans, or if you got, you know, some type of synthetic fabric pants, it'll generally stop a small minor snake bite. You obviously don't want to rely on that, and you really want to be looking after yourself with proper gaiters. But for me, these little baby ones that I keep seeing, they pose almost zero risk to me unless I'm silly and try and pick it up with my hands, because it's not going to get through my pants, let alone the gaiters that I'm wearing. If I come across a really big one, you got to be a bit more careful, but the big ones generally scurry off quite well ahead of you, so and you can see them from a mile away. It's the small ones that just sneak up on you, and like you saw earlier, you do stand on them. So yeah, there's very little risk, but certainly keeps you alert. Back my comments from 6 a.m. this morning where I said there's very little wildlife. I have seen such an abundance of animals this side of the mountain on my way back. Obviously the snakes, but also I saw a few wallabies, kangaroos, loads of bird life, lizards, and you name it. So yeah, there's certainly a bit more. I think I heard a dingo in the distance. They make quite a distinctive, almost howl, and we know they're out here. There's quite a few of them, but I haven't seen one, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I did see one on the drive in. It ran across the road, and they're unmistakable, you can't miss them, but I haven't seen one out here over the last couple days. And I said this was the snakes earlier, but let's hope I don't see any of them. There's a big positive that's come out of this snake encounter. For the last about 10-15 minutes I've completely forgotten about the cut of my foot. All I'm focused on is looking for snakes, and my alert levels are pretty high. So yeah, the pain's certainly gone away. I'm not even thinking about it. So if you ever got a cut or anything, try distract yourself, and I think it helps. Everything looks like a snake once you see a few of them. There's lots of twigs and there's grasshoppers jumping all over like yesterday, so it often just catches your eye, something moving. But so far so good. Pretty river, and we can either take our shoes off and go through it, or we can just walk straight through it, because right now I'm pretty tired and I'm happy to just get wet for the next little while. Cool little stream. So we're about 2 k's to go, so the trip's almost coming to an end, and the last couple k's are going to be straight uphill, so I'm not going to have the energy to pull out my camera. And the person that was at the campground last night lied to me. She said it was 19 kilometers, and we're now on about 22 k's, and I just looked at my Garmin. I've still got at least 2 to 2.5 k's to go, and I know obviously with the camera and running back and forward adds a little bit of distance, but certainly not 5Ks, 4Ks. But anyway, it's been pretty epic, and yeah, decided just to stay for the one night. I think I miss my family, my little Miss Joe and little Lewis, who's 2 weeks old, and Dom and my little doggy Eleanor. And I think I'll get back to them. I'm very grateful to Dom for letting me do this with a 2-week-old at home. She's such a legend. But yeah, ready to kind of get in the car, drive 7 hours back home. It's been such an incredible trip and such a breath of fresh air to get out here. I've been wanting to do this since I arrived in Australia almost 10 years ago, and so I'm really happy I just did it. It's hard to find time, and when you've got families and work and travel for work, it's really tricky, but just happy to get out here and meet really fascinating people along the way. Interestingly, I only saw people at the campground, or the hut I should say. Over 50 odd kilometers of walking, I haven't seen a single human. There really is nothing out here. It's probably one of the most remote parts of Australia, and you can see why there's not much happening. But yeah, really interesting people and good memories, I'm sure. But for now, I've just got to dig deep with a little bit more energy. Yeah, I got a pretty much straight 45-degree hike for a couple Ks up the hill, and it's the same one that I did coming down, so I know what to expect. It's going to be steep, and I'm feeling pretty mentally tired now because my eyes have just been scanning for snakes since I saw those about an hour ago. So I think I'm going to be quite exhausted by the end of this. Not so much physically, more mentally. Whereas yesterday I was just nonchalant about it and I just walked. Today this side, it's a lot more exposed to the sun, and I think they just like the heat. So yeah, I will chat to you again when we get up to the car. Final hill to climb. Whew. That was a good 70-degree climb. And there you have it, folks. I have arrived. Exactly 23.9 Ks later. Now I've just got to pray that I have my car keys somewhere in my bag. This should open. Hey, car's open, battery has not run out, and I left myself some chocolate in the front seat. So right, folks, that's a wrap. I have got myself a clean shirt, got myself a lot of snacks, got myself some Red Bulls, and a good attitude for the drive home. It's about 8 hours. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the video.